gentlemen, it's now the moment you've all been waiting for. Coming to you live from Northern Virginia. It's time for Running the Cage with John Becerra.
Welcome to another edition of Running the Cage, an exclusive interview with 7-0 amateur middleweight in Virginia, #1 ranked, Southeast and in the state of Virginia, Oscar Jimenez.
Howdy.
Howdy. How you doing, man?
Good, and you? Good.
I'm doing well. I appreciate you coming out in the middle of camp after a seminar at the Yamasaki Academy in Woodbridge.
Yeah, with good old Eve Edwards.
Good old Eve Edwards, PFL, UFC vet.
Yeah, big vet.
Big vet.
Big legend.
So, because every journey starts through the amateurs, and you're one of the top rated amateurs in Virginia, #1.
Yeah,
so
#1.
#1 right now. Now, tell me about your journey into mixed martial arts. How'd you find the Yamasaki Academy? When did you want to even start training into mixed martial arts?
Okay. So I think we'll start where we found it, where we began. So Conor McGregor was just getting popular around then.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
during his UFC rise?
Yeah, during his rise. So a lot of my buddies and me were going to Buffalo Wild Wings to go watch fights. And, you know, I always liked the idea of martial arts, and I wanted to be in the military beforehand. And there was one night that I'll always remember. I was sitting there washing dishes, and I was like, I could do that. I could really do that. I could probably make a living doing this. You know, generate all that good fight money.
That McGregor money.
Yeah, McGregor money. And then how I came about the gym, it was literally just a Google search. The day afterwards, I was like, where do I want to go? Where do I want to start this journey? Because I knew it was very important of where you started.
No, for sure.
You know, because fundamentals are very important. So to get them as soon as possible is key to picking the right place. So it was Yamasaki Academy was the second place on the map, and I just
walked through the door.
Stopped by. It was a Tuesday afternoon. Just walked in, and Joe was sitting there. Hey, buddy, how are you? I was like, hey, I want to fight someday. And I was like, yeah, man, go do the fundamentals, and here we are.
So when you say fundamentals, are you talking like months of jiu-jitsu and then?
No. It was just an 8-week program of 1 hour of striking, and then 1 hour of grappling. Just basic stuff. 1 move, 2 moves at the most. And
during this time, was the intention to compete?
Yeah. The goal was always to fight.
Okay.
Always to fight from day one. We knew we were gonna fight.
Just ready to throw hands.
Just gotta wait.
Gotta tone those skills. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, because my original Muay Thai coach is a little bit more of a traditionalist when it comes to taking your time, knowing when he was gonna choose when you fight. You know, some people walk into a gym and like, I want to fight, and they'll be like, all right, here you go ahead, show up this weekend, you gotta fight. But no, they wanted me to take my time. I wanted to too.
Do you find that beneficial that you did take that time to get those basics?
For sure. Because especially with the jiu-jitsu, because that's where I've won not most of my fights, but a good
amount of stoppages are through your submissions.
Yeah, when you get taken down. Yeah. But
so is that kind of your bread and butter? Because I remember in your first fight in Cowboy fights, main event slot.
Yeah, main event.
There was a moment in that fight where you got taken to the ground and you were fully comfortable, ready to go there.
Yeah, it's to the point where I'm okay. You want to go to the ground? Good luck.
Okay.
I hope you liked my stand up, because it's just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, when we get to the ground. For me personally.
I like that attitude because I'm a big proponent. If you're going to fight mixed martial arts, you have to be well-rounded everywhere. Just plain and simple. You can't, back in the days, in the old times, where you could have your one dominant foundation, but now, you're one trick pony. But now the sport has grown so much. Athletes are knowing everything, all types of various martial arts.
Yep.
But every time I watch you compete, there's always something new added to your game. Yeah. I know your last fight against Jacob Vale, title defense, on the Rebel Run Sports Combat page, if you want to watch the full fight. But in that fight, there's a moment where you're put up against the cage, and I don't know if it was instinct, if it was something you practiced, but you kind of just lifted your knees up to get onto the waist, just to get it leverage onto those elbows.
Yeah, that's a Thai technique I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, where you get your shins on top of their hips and you just whoop, whoop, just rain some elbows down.
So when you were doing that, was it strictly for the elbows, or were you confident
elbows.
in the ground that even if you were taken down?
Go ahead, let's go. Take me to the ground. Let's go. Let's have some fun.
Let's just have some fun.
Yeah.
So is your mindset?
And I also knew that once I got to the ground with him,
Okay.
it was done.
Okay. So I guess that's another thing too I wanted to ask you about, because you're fun, happy guy, but when it's time to actually make the walk and get into the cage, there's kind of that switch.
Yeah.
And I remember we talked after that title defense. You even said kind of like a laser. You just zoom in.
Don't think about it.
Just don't think.
Don't think about it.
You're in that flow state.
Yeah, it's kind of like flow, and you kind of know what could happen, but you're focused on what you want the results to be. Laser focus.
I like that.
No worrying. No worrying.
And when did the gun at the bottom?
That was a dare. That was a funny dare. Right before.
Because you're not that big on talking, but you do kind of get in your opponent's heads a little bit.
Yeah.
Back to that first Cowboy fight in the main event slot, and at the weigh-ins, there's a little bit of a fake handshake, a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking in the back, like, we're really about to fight, and I didn't want to be friends with this guy, because the funny way he gave me a look. But other than that, it was. I wanted to get in his head just a little bit, just see, because I'm still trying to find what's my fight personality when I'm gonna get to the pros. You know, does that make sense? Like, what's the character I'm gonna show the people
while staying genuine to yourself.
while staying genuine? So finding the genuine self.
Okay, I like that. I like that, because we see guys like Colby Covington who are trying to make a name through talking, but it's not necessarily being accepted in the MMA community and
By certain people.
Certain people, yeah, to an
Some
extent.
people like some people like that obnoxious.
Yeah. How do you feel about? Because I like asking fighters this a lot. That kind of shift that we had. I'll kind of credit it to McGregor and his whole featherweight run.
Yeah.
This shift from martial arts and respect to more a little bit of trash talking, a little bit of showboat and performing at the final end of it.
He's genuine with it.
Okay.
And I think that's the key.
That's just who he is.
That's who he is, or he's worked upon himself to become that person.
Okay.
And I think that's the big difference between him and a lot of other people who try to personify that sort of behavior. Like me, I don't think I can pull that Conor McGregor.
You can't pull off
not yet,
the mink coats.
No. Maybe the suits, but not the coat. What a god. But not yet. But I could build him to that. And it's about finding yourself while you're working into the cage.
Okay. Dustin Poirier, he has a great line that's 25 minutes to just make the world fair. You don't have to worry about anybody else. You don't have to worry about anything. It's just you in there to make what you feel is right and take what you feel you deserve. Whether that's a win, whether that's a bonus, or the title. Title that you'll be fighting for in June 29th?
June 29th.
Before we get to that Cowboy fight title bout, I want to go back to fighters that you look up to, because just from sitting next to you, watching you fight, your frame is a big part of your game and attribute that you bring into the cage. Are there certain fighters, styles that you kind of look up to or try to emulate a little bit while in there?
For sure, styles to emulate, John Jones. Big elbow game, I like. And Edson and Jose Aldo for their kicks.
The kickers.
Yeah, kickers. Anybody who kicks a lot, I'm gonna take notes. Bring out the pen and paper. But Kamaru Usman.
Okay.
Recently, maybe not for what his technically does, but just his.
Is it the pressure? The pressure.
Pressure. Never letting you go. Never letting you go.
Woodley said he got hypnotized while in there. It wasn't gonna go away.
No. Unrelenting.
I like that. Now, June 29th, you're fighting in the Cowboy Fight Series 2. Going up against undefeated fighter. Big 2. Yeah. Undefeated fighter, 0-0, both of you guys, 7-0 yourself. 4-0 Tyler Cornbread Bunting, fighting at a Disciple MMA, another good gym here out in Virginia. How do you feel about that matchup? And does does the fact that it's for a title now add any kind of pressure to it, or is it the same game plan?
So when I heard it was for a title, I got a little excited. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
5-round fight? Oh, yeah, get me in there for however long we're in there for. But when it comes to when I see myself matching up against him, oh man, I'm kind of worried for him.
Yeah.
Because where do you see yourself winning?
Okay.
You know, get me to the ground, gonna get submitted. Good luck with the stand-up. And interesting enough, he actually he fought one of my older opponents, Nazir. I'm not gonna screw up his last name, but Nazir. And yeah, we had a Muay Thai fight. I won decision. So watching that fight, then watching his fight with him.
Common opponent.
Yeah, common opponent. And I see myself kind of winning everywhere we go, anywhere we go.
So anywhere the fight goes, you're confident.
Yeah, go ahead, take us to the ground.
Okay.
I'm gonna win there too.
Now, I like how you said however long it goes, because I was looking at both your guys' record. Neither one of you guys have gone to decision. Every win has been through a stoppage, whether that's TKO or submission.
Yep.
Do you see this fight going all the way?
No.
No.
One of us is getting finished. One of us getting finished. Probably gonna be him too.
Okay.
Probably gonna be him. He'll fall for something and I'll catch him.
Okay.
I'm gonna catch him.
And so the end goal is to have the belt around the waist while you shake Cowboy's hand, the Cowboy belt with the Cowboy handshake.
And then hopefully, he's, he hasn't confirmed it. He's just good, somebody go train out there with him. Yeah, at the BMF ranch and
Be
see
an
what it's
exceptional
like up there.
opportunity.
Yeah.
And Cowboy himself, like you said, big kicker.
Yeah, big kick. He's also a good inspiration to watch.
So, inspiration, do you appreciate the fight anybody anywhere aspect in fighting? Or do you think the money kind of washes down when fighters start to pick and choose who they want to?
Yeah, that's a good point of are you going to go for the challenge or the money? That's that's when you break down the question, that's what you're asking. Do you fight those guys that you can possibly lose to and lose the dream, or just keep grabbing the dollars, grabbing the money? But yeah,
I think there's a respect for that. Because whenever Cowboy does take a fight on short notice, this is one of the reasons why the event got pushed back to the 28th, where it was supposed to be the first. But there's a big respect to that, because it's kind of the purest. It doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah.
If it's a fight and it's an opportunity to progress myself, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, it's like the old like the first UFC.
Yeah.
When the big what was it? I think he was a sumo wrestler. Yeah, he was a sumo wrestler.
Oh, in the very first.
Yeah, big old 300 pounds.
Yeah, got his tooth knocked out with a face.
Like,
Yeah. That was actually the very first UFC match ever.
Yep,
that one right there.
The first one.
I can't remember the name, so I'm not going to attempt, but none of the little Google search can't fix.
Hey Siri.
So, so with the pushback of the event for Cowboy fights, does that change the camp training a little bit, or the weight cut, anything like that, or?
And I'm very good about the diet. It makes me kind of more excited to get more time in. More cardio, better show for the people.
Now, how has Joe helped you as head coach? Because I remember from just discussing with him before we were filming, the change when he was taking you to jiu-jitsu tournaments, and just that evolution. Like after it was like one particular match, you're a little dehydrated, but still pulled out with I think it was a wrist lock.
Wrist lock, last second. My first gi match at submission only tournament, U.S. grappling, and yeah, it was my first match, and just walk out there and get ready, and we roll for an hour and 30 minutes. Sitting there going back and forth. He had me in a couple troubles. Get me out of here. But I caught him on the bottom of side control with a wrist lock. I don't know how that works. Don't ask me to instruct that one. But I had to dig in deep. Mouth starts leaking and lips are all dry. Get me out of here. Gotta win. But
you found the way to win. Through that heart, you didn't give in. You didn't quit. And Joe was telling me that from then on, if you wanted to take that journey into MMA, he was going to back you 100%. How has the coaching helped you, especially at this fight now? It's probably one of your biggest fights to date. You're getting a tough challenge with another undefeated fighter. I remember after your title defense, Joe's like, "All right, now we start the film, and now we start to go over."
Yeah. Planning. Good with the planning. He's very knowledgeable about what needs to happen, what's the counters to what's going on, what's gonna show up in the fight, and So training the right techniques for what's going to happen in the cage, I think is a big part. And I think other fighters deal with this a lot more as nerves. Talking to I don't feel a lot of nerves going into there, so I don't.
No anxiety before you actually make the walk.
I mean, like, yeah, there's like public anxiety.
Okay.
The fact that you're gonna go and be in front of people, but then there's the fighting someone else aspect of anxiety that I don't think I'm dealing with at all.
So the actual concept of getting in a cage and fighting somebody.
Easy.
Easy money.
Easy money. We're going to work. That's my cubicle.
Yeah,
that's going to be my cubicle.
I'm very excited for the fight.
Too.
I'm very excited. I want to thank you for doing this, man.
Yeah, put on a good show for the people.
Of course. Why don't you let people know where to follow you?
Hey, follow me on AO_Oscar AO on Instagram and catch the fight on the 29th. Tickets are on sale now under my description on IG, and catch you around.
June 29th, Sterling, Virginia. You can watch Oscar fight live. And if you want to watch any of his previous matches, you can go on over to our Rebel Run Sports and Combat page where you can find some of his full fights, including title defenses. Your most recent one against Jacob Vale at the Mix It Up Sports Danger Zone event.
On the first
Oscar.
round.
First round.
First round. Not long, but
It's not long, but it's good. And I enjoy the time. I want to thank you so much, brother.
hey, thank you, sir.
Yes.